Yo, what's up? Ryan Allen Bell. So I've been an entrepreneur since 2014, over 8 years now, and I'm at a position where I've earned over 6 figures on social media for 4 years in a row, built a business that's in over 30 countries, and here I'm in a position to share my story with you. Now, if we go back in time, before 2014, I was working 12-hour shifts as an EMT working the 911 system, and it was a career that I pursued right after high school. I wasn't passionate about it. I didn't see a future in it. And I actually went through a period where I was like sad and depressed, and I actually felt lost with my life until I discovered entrepreneurship and network marketing, which led me to where I'm at today. I found a community of like-minded people who had the results that I wanted. And within a couple years, I started earning more income working part-time from home than working full-time at my job. So when that happened in 2016, I quit my job and never looked back. And now, fast forward, I'm in a position where I coach people, I teach people how to build a business on social media, and I'm really looking forward to what we're creating, especially with where we're at in the economy. Job security isn't true security anymore. True security is working for ourselves, and we're finally cracked the code of social media. So I'm glad you're tuning in.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Significant Impact Show, where we literally, intentionally find the best entrepreneurs from all over the world who are literally making an impact with their business, and they are doing so significantly. Today, we have the amazing Ryan Allen Bell, who is the host of the Home-Based Business Podcast, which is a top education and self-improvement podcast where he interviews people who are building successful home-based businesses. Ryan has been building his own home-based business for the last 7 years, full-time for 6 years, and has built a business that has expanded to over 30 countries all around the world. Currently, he has coached dozens of people to six-figure incomes and has helped hundreds earn part-time income working from their home. His driving force is in helping others build successful home-based businesses so they can create a life of freedom and independence. Ryan loves God, and he loves positively impacting the entire world. You can listen to his podcast at ryanallenbell.com/podcast. Ryan, how you doing today, man?
Let's go. What a great intro. Amani, thank you so much. I am blessed and fortunate and super happy to be here for us to share this space and bring value to the world. Let's get it.
Heck yes. Oh my God. I remember when we initially met, what was it? Was it on Clubhouse? Is that where
it was
we
Clubhouse?
Met?
Yeah, for sure.
God. We met on Clubhouse, you guys, and we just hit it off, had a great conversation. And from then, Ryan has been solid. And you know what? He even talks about how he has conversations with was it 2 people per day? Intentional, like meaningful, right? Or something like that.
I still do that. Yeah. So, well, you guys, I've been building home-based businesses for 7 years, but I'm a great networker. And so over the years, I've developed the character trait to build relationships and connect with people. And I've developed a habit to actually communicate with at least 2 people per day and just not even have an agenda. That's the key, is like not have an agenda, just like really just get to know people, what's up with their life, what they've been up to. And I've been doing this for years, you guys. And what I like to do is I find 2 new people per day to network with, right? I add them to my list. I figure out a creative way to stay in touch with them over the years. And now, since I've been doing this for years and years, I have thousands of people in my network who I know on a first name basis, which is incredible. And that's such a gift to have those rich relationships, you know?
That's huge. You guys, this is what, this is one of those things that I'm still like floored by, to know thousands of people on a first name basis. And to be honest with you, like there's people, and I hate that I've done this, because it's like, dang, why can't I remember so-and-so's name? And they're like, what's up, Imani? I'm like, hey, what's up? Yep. How you doing? And it sucks because I'm like, dang, I need to do better with that. And quick story, I remember the reason why I'm more like, hey, how you doing? Is because somebody, apparently I had met her 3 times and I still forgot her name, and I felt so bad. And like, I was like, no, she's gonna be my best friend for a grip. And so I never forgot her after that. So please share with us, what was it that made you decide to know so many people on a first name basis and to build solid relationships with that? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, for sure. So when I got into entrepreneurship, I realized like the value of like having your network. It's like it doesn't matter what you know, it matters who you know, right? And so I started realizing that when I became an entrepreneur, like because we could read all the books and whatnot, but if you don't have people to mastermind with and to help like create projects or businesses or community, you're not able to bring the value that you learn from books to the world, right? And so I learned early on just the value of just people in general, right? And so I started from day one. I was like, hey, like, okay, if I make a decision to just out friend as many people as possible and to focus on relationships in my life, I know regardless of what I pursue for business or investments or whatever it is, I'll be able to have people that want to give back to me because I'm giving so much to them. Actually, look, this is so
Exactly.
crazy. The first book I have right here is The Go Giver,
Ooh,
Bob Berg. And that book is all about giving. And that's how you build a huge network, right? And so I just learned just like if you have an open heart where you want to serve people and figure out how can I give to this person, it just comes back to you in abundance, even if that's not even your intention. Like if you could just have a heart, like a giving heart, and that's just who you are as an individual, like your life is grand at that point, you know? And so
yeah.
I started that years ago. And I continue to learn. You know, I study a lot of networking books. I study a lot of books on just people. Like I have right here also How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is such
Classic.
a must read. It's a must read. I reread that one all the time. But yeah, it really came down to like the spark that initiated it was when I became an entrepreneur. I was like, okay,
Right
I
on.
like, you know, the world, because you're an entrepreneur to serve people. You can't have a successful business unless people buy your product or service. It's people
Exactly.
that buy your product or service. You know what I'm saying? So we got to love on
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so huge because I want to say Amazon is one of the best just like models when it comes to serving the people. So much so Amazon came after eBay. And look at
Hmm.
where Jeff Bezos is now. And whenever
Yep.
anybody has asked him questions, he said, my first priority is the customer, to the
For
point
sure.
where all these other companies are now literally trying to do the same thing, but they can't because look at where he is. So with that, who would be your ultimate, maybe like top favorite entrepreneur that has really impacted your life?
Well, I think of Elon Musk for sure. That's the first person that
Right?
comes to mind. And it's because he's a visionary,
He
right? And
is. He
so,
is.
yeah, if we can develop the capacity to have a huge vision and then cast that vision to our team or to whoever we're working to inspire, and
Yeah.
you could get them to believe what you believe, then you guys could create something magical. And so I look up to Elon Musk. He's just one of the greatest innovators of our time for sure. He kind of reminds me of Andrew Carnegie. And for
Okay.
those that don't
Okay.
know, Andrew Carnegie was the steel guy. He started all the railroads and whatnot, and he was a billionaire. And he was one of the most successful entrepreneurs like a century ago. And now in our century, in the 21st century, I see Elon Musk as one of those main entrepreneurs that we're blessed to be around. You know, and another part is he's with it with the times. He's all into crypto, he's all into natural energy, you know. He's
He's
young,
current.
he's yeah, he's current, he's young. And so yeah, he's a visionary. The biggest quality or character trait and quality is he's a visionary, you know, and we need that to be able to create. Actually, I talked about this on my Instagram yesterday. I was like, our
Okay.
our capacity to be able to create success for our lives is directly correlated to our ability to get behind a vision before it becomes a reality,
Oops.
right?
Can
So
you say that one more time? I'm gonna write that down. What our capacity? What?
yeah, man, I don't even know what I said. That just came out naturally.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. Hey, but thank God this is recorded. So, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty much saying like our capacity to create success for ourselves comes down to like the direct correlation of our ability to get behind a vision before it becomes a reality.
Oh,
So,
that's
an
beautiful.
example is like, right now I'm really building on TikTok, for example. um, TikTok is still early in my opinion. And so I'm going all
Only a couple
out
of years.
massive action on TikTok and getting behind it before we hit just more market penetration. Right. And so I see the vision of TikTok right now,
Ahead
you
of
know,
time.
ahead of time. Exactly. And it's just being able to see something before it's a reality. And here's the thing, if people doubt you or doubt whatever project or business that you're pursuing and it's already successful, then that is a huge sign that you should really consider getting behind it for sure. You know,
That's huge.
like, yeah, because you're like, oh, let's build a business on TikTok. And then there's so many people I've met. I was like, yo, TikTok is for kids. Like, that's not going to go anywhere. I'm like, bro, but there's entrepreneurs earning tens of thousands of dollars on TikTok right now. Like,
exactly.
why wouldn't you get on it?
There's a lot of people, and when I remember having conversations about just social media, building my business online, and I realized that the people a lot of the times that says it doesn't work, they just don't really have the type of online personality where they could share it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what, to be honest, this is your strength here, but when it comes to, fun and everything like that, I would be doing great online. And so I got to go with my strengths, but then you realize it comes down to personality and making sure you convey it online. So what's one of your favorite ways to convey who the Ryan Allen Bell is online?
Oh man. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because we met on Clubhouse and I feel like that is the perfect platform to be real. It's like, you can't hide who you are on Clubhouse. People are going to know your
voice.
They're going to know who you really are. Just by listening to you,
Yeah.
So to answer your question, it's just about being authentic, being real, right? Not trying to fake it until you make it. Like, I just want to be as real as possible and be genuine. And that builds my confidence. And that builds my competence, which is my ability to actually like do well in the world and do well with what I know. But so for me to express myself, I'm really using like on social media, I'm using like video. Any video content I feel like is the greatest one. I have my camera right here. I've been filming like me talking to the camera, putting it on Reels, repurposing it, putting it on TikTok. But I'm really taking advantage of video content nowadays. I feel like that is a great way for me to be able to express myself,
Absolutely. Sure. When you think about it, right? When Instagram first came out, they only gave us, what was it, like 15 seconds? And that was like,
for sure. I remember that.
And being long-winded, right? Naturally long-winded. I'm like, what am I going to do in 15 seconds? And then you get Vine and people are out here looking like King Batch, however you say his name, where he is now. Or he's a boxer now, but he started on Logan Paul. Dude started on Vine. I'm like, wow, okay, I wasn't thinking in the right capacity. And so that's how powerful video is, because people don't understand just how much it lasts, how long and how large that is. Because if you're not doing video now, you're definitely going to be obsolete. So what is something else that people can do to make sure that their home-based business is actually sustainable?
Well, you need to commit yourself to your project that you're working on, number one. And so I talk about grit. There's a book called Grit by Angela Duckworth. And she says it takes about 2 years for you to be able to develop grit. And grit is your ability to stick with something long after the emotion of your decision has passed, right? So like you could get excited about something and then go for like a month or two or whatever, and then you're just not like emotionally attached to it anymore. And then you go on to something else. If you keep going from shiny object to shiny object, like you're not going to create lasting success, right? So you want to develop grit. And 2 years, they say 2 years. At about 2 years, you get to a point where you've developed enough like persistence and perseverance where you could just keep on going, right? And so if you can make that decision, it's a personal development issue, really, that we're talking about. If you could get to a point where you could develop grit in businesses or projects that you're pursuing, you could have success in anything that you pursue, for sure.
That's so accurate, because even Glenn Stearns, once I was able to ask him a question, and when he did that show Undercover Billionaire, I remember when I saw it on CNBC, and I was like, oh, I'm going to make sure I am there to every Sunday to make sure that I'm there for the whole entire season, because I'm like, yo, this is a phenomenal idea. And every week he kept missing the mark. And I was like, Mr. Stearns, what was it that made you keep going even when you couldn't every week? Like the financial goal that you were setting, you weren't reaching. And that's literally what you were just saying. It's that grit, getting up and going and rocking it out. And so another question for you I have is, what is it that you plan on reaching for next to help people see, look, this is the impact I'm making. This is why I'm making this impact. What's the next thing that you're willing to go through the grit and the dirt to make that impact with?
Yeah, for sure. So in my business, getting to a six-figure income is really about putting in the work, hours of consistent effort, right? But if you want to be able to scale from 6 to 7 figures, it's about systems. And so that's my next journey. And the reason though is because if I go from putting in work to create a six-figure income, to develop systems to create a seven-figure income, I'm going to go from success to significance because I can impact more people, right? And so that's what I'm focusing on. Systems will create significance in your life to impact more lives. So that's really what I'm focused on in this moment. It's interesting you brought this up because I work with like a lot of leaders and I teach people how to become leaders of leaders. And we had like a 21 person mastermind like a month ago to develop systems for our business because we all work together. And we have such a huge vision now. So it's not just me, but we have a mastermind where it's like, we have 20 people that share the same vision. And now we're working together to create systems that push towards this, or where this vision is pulling us towards it, you know? Yeah. So it's about significance at this point, which is like, how many people can we serve and how well can we serve them, you know?
Yeah. You guys, I want to rewind it back because this is why I am the way that I am. It's easy to make money. Horrible people out here make money. You can literally ask somebody 5 to 12 times, hey, do you want to buy? Do you want to buy? And 80% of them, for the most part, they're going to buy just because they want you to stop hitting them up. But what is it that you're going to do with the money? What impact are you really willing to make? Because that's one of the things that I speak about with my clients. It's a requirement to have a giving goal. We're not just going to make money to make money. How are you going to impact your community, your family, future generations? Because without that, you know what I'm saying? The world doesn't owe us anything. We owe the world. We are here to actually put our gifts out. So what's another one of the gifts that you have, maybe that's not business related, but life related, that just kind of draws people to you to where you can have conversations and and actually impact them?
I would say for sure it's my ability to give. I actually recently took it was like this like, I don't know, it was like 20 question test to figure out, okay, what are my strengths that are correlated to like biblical truths. And it was like, oh, I give just out of my nature, like organically, whether I'm giving financially or I'm giving time or I'm giving my energy. It's something that I don't really think about or question. It's just something that happens organically, right? And so even if it's not in business, I could be just living my life and just giving people the time of day, like listening to them, talking to them, being friendly. People that ask for things, like I'm the type of dude where like if someone like all right, here's an example. I always keep extra cash in my pocket. So when people ask me, oh, can I have a few bucks? I'm like, yeah, here you go. You know, so like that is like a character trait that I've developed.
Lender, not the borrower.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and so I would say for sure that carries, it's not just for business, it's for just my life in general. And that helps me build amazing relationships with people. Like I feel like I'm able to have closer, more genuine friendships because it really feels like a friendship. You know, it doesn't feel forced. It's just like, yo, this is like, you're a good person. I'm a good person. Like, let's be good people together. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Sure.
You guys, I don't know, you guys saw me put my head down because I'm over here taking notes. That's one thing I definitely do whenever I get on a phone call or just conversation with Ryan, because, you know, even before this, we just started sharing and just like, you know, masterminding, like he says, because we understand how important it is to make those genuine connections. Because when it comes to what it is that we're building, I want to be like, hey, Ryan, I found this thing, or I found this person, and they would be perfect for your organization. I believe that they will add to you. I could be like, he'll be like, okay, bet. And then we just make that connection right then and there. But that's how important it is to focus on your relationships more than anything. So if you can leave us with one thing before we, if we have time for a quick game, if you can leave us with one thing, what is one thing we can do to make sure that we are rocking it out in the relationship when meeting new people.
Yeah. Do not have an agenda. That is the big thing that I teach people. So don't go into conversations, like whether that's an online networking event, an in-person networking event, or anytime you're like just following up with people, don't go into any of these conversations with the thought like, what can I get out of this relationship? You know, can I try to get a sale or a recruit, or, you know, can they buy my product or service? Like, you don't want to be thinking like that. What you want to be thinking is, don't even have an agenda. It was like, yo, what's up, man? How's life? Tell me about this. Tell me about that. How's business? How's work? What are your goals right now? You know, if you do not have an agenda, everything flows so naturally. It flows so naturally. And then what happens organically is, by default, they're like, hey, how's business? You know what? I've been actually thinking about hitting you up. Like, it just flows so great, you guys. Better. So that's a big tip. I would say it's one of the biggest tips is, do not have an agenda with your relationships. Just be as great of a friend as you can possible, and to focus on giving, serve them, figure out how can you make their life better, for sure.
Right on, right on. All right. So we're going to make a quick rapid game real quick, because I agree with that point and everything that you said. So I'm going to say a word. You say the next word that you think of, and then take 30 seconds to explain why. And then we're going to end with you telling everybody how we can find you. Sound good?
All right. Sounds great.
All right. Ready? Tesla.
I think of Elon Musk. And 30 seconds, why?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So what's interesting is Tesla, I feel like he got the idea from Nikola Tesla, right? Who's the energy guy. And you know, if you think about Elon Musk, he's really innovating in the world. He is the number. We already talked about this on the podcast, but he's the number one innovator. He is so ahead of his time. He's changing the world. He wants to put people on Mars. Right? He wants to put people on Mars. Yeah. So Tesla. I think of Elon Musk, and I think of he's focused on making humanity, or Earth, a better place for humanity, for sure.
Right on. All right. Next word. Relationships.
I think of, all right, I don't want to say something I already said. I think of you, for example. Okay. Yeah, and here's the reason why is we've been staying in touch here and there on social media or via text message, and we've been catching up, you know, every couple months or whatnot. And then one day you're like, hey, come on my podcast. I was like, okay, like, Imani is a good person. Like, we're building a genuine relationship. And you guys, this is a great example. Like, we've stayed in touch, and like, she's giving me the opportunity to be in her podcast. And by default, I'm also giving her value that I've learned over the years. So it's just, it's beautiful, you know? So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Man, that was sweet. Wasn't expecting that.
Let's go.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So Ryan, please tell us how we can find you, because I mean, you guys, I hope you're taking notes, but Ryan is a solid dude. He has been since day one. And so you need to make sure you reach out to him. Please tell us where we can find you, Ryan.
For sure. The best place is, if you actually want to have a conversation, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm on Instagram every day. It's at Ryan Allen Bell. So it's RyanAllenBell. Follow me on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. I post content daily. That would be the best and easiest place for you to reach me at, for sure.
Right on. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Ryan, for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate that we can also talk about God when a lot of people don't necessarily want to talk about God, especially in today's world. So you guys, make sure you reach out to Ryan, because he's going to give you real things that you can actually put into place right now. And he's going to share with you, you know, just heartwarming conversations. And we already know that's rare. And even with the pandemic and COVID, you know what I'm saying? We're missing that. And so we need people like Ryan in this world. Thank you for what you do, bro. Thank you for being here. And you guys, make sure you tune in for our next episode.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Yo, what's up? Ryan Allen Bell. So I've been an entrepreneur since 2014, over 8 years now, and I'm at a position where I've earned over 6 figures on social media for 4 years in a row, built a business that's in over 30 countries, and here I'm in a position to share my story with you. Now, if we go back in time, before 2014, I was working 12-hour shifts as an EMT, working the 911 system, and it was a career that I pursued right after high school. I wasn't passionate about it. I didn't see a future in it. And I actually went through a period where I was like sad and depressed, and I actually felt lost with my life until I discovered entrepreneurship and network marketing, which led me to where I'm at today. I found a community of like-minded people who had the results that I wanted. And within a couple years, I started earning more income working part-time from home than working full-time at my job. So when that happened in 2016, I quit my job and never looked back. And now, fast forward, I'm in a position where I coach people, I teach people how to build a business on social media, and I'm really looking forward to what we're creating, especially with where we're at in the economy. Job security isn't true security anymore. True security is working for ourselves, and we're finally cracked the code of social